Alright, easy plan. Just get in, get out. Simple. Though, I guess I should let some ponies see me. I mean, what's the point of being a ne'er-do-well if no pony knows? Not that any pony shouldn't know who I am. I mean, I'm on the wanted posters. You'd think the guards would get called on me more often. Maybe they can't read. Speaking of which, why ain't any pony noticing I'm doing my plotting while standing on the grass here? Huh? What do you mean I ain't standing on grass 'cause it's dead? There's still a sign right there. Stupid drought. Makes it hard work for every pony. Not that I'm lazy or nothing, I just don't like to work. Some ponies don't like politics, some ponies don't like fighting. I don't like working my flank off for no good reason. Who am I? My name is Applejack. You better not forget it. I'm one of the most wanted ponies in Canterlot. What do you mean that's a small list? Oh yeah, the princess is trying to kill us all, and... Well, I don't care. I ain't letting those two ruin my day while I'm trying to ruin every pony else's. Even if they destroyed all of the Pegasi cities and there hasn't been rain for days. I'm a bad gal too. A thirsty bad gal, but still a bad gal. Maybe I should swap something to drink. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay, turned out that was a free water stand to help ponies survive in the drought I just stole from. Didn't know we had those. I still stole from it. You can't tell me that I am bad to the bone. The other girls at the hideout know I'm bad. Fluttershy said so. I'm pretty sure she wasn't being sarcastic either. And Rainbow knows I am too. She even tried to help me once or twice. Somehow we ended up giving flowers out to orphans. Ain't sure how that happened, but it wasn't my fault. I still made one of them cry, and I totally meant to step on their hooves to do it. I swear. But none of that is important right now. What's important is that I've got a job to do. I'm gonna rob a store owned by the apples. Yeah, I'm an apple. What of it? No pony tells Applejack what to do. Alright, AJ, let's do this. I sneak in all smooth like, I even whistle a little. No pony will suspect a thing. I slowly trot over to the apples, looking around to make sure no pony's looking, at least until I'm running the other way. And, of course, some reason every pony is. Dang it. Okay, just gonna have to wait, and wait, and wait, and wait. There we go. Dang it! Now they're watching again. Dang it! Look away, don't ya? Why is robbing a store so boring? Being a criminal's supposed to be exciting, not all this waiting around. Now that big sissy Buck Withers is trying to pick up some apples himself. You'd think the stallion who wears nothing but pink would be going after the peaches. Then again, I guess he might just be picking up ingredients for fruit smoothies for that triathlete of his wife. Ugh, come on, this is taking forever. My legs are getting tired of it. Finally, no ponies looking. Grab the apple and make sure only the security cameras see ya.
Excuse me, miss?
Dang it! The manager saw me. Oh well, at least she'll get a good look at my cutie mark as I run away.
Oh, Miss Applejack. Long time no see.
Buck! She gives me a smile.
I hope the store is to your satisfaction. Despite recent events, we have been trying very hard to keep it clean and up to snuff. Come to try the produce? I can bag it for you.
Well, I was stealing it. She blinked and looked at me like I told him I was an alien.
Miss Applejack, this is your family store. It's difficult to steal something that you already own.
Well, what about Granny Smith?
Well, you're living on your own. I don't believe she'd have the heart to deny you food in these difficult times.
My twitches, and I glare at her for a moment. See you then.
Have a nice day, Miss Applejack, and please do visit your grandmother sometimes. She sincerely misses you.
You don't tell me what to do, and neither does she.
Yes, Miss Applejack.
I flee that insane place as fast as my legs can carry me. Why can't I simply not seem to get in trouble for robbing my family store? What in tarnations is wrong with my family? Is Granny Smith too busy sipping her fancy tea to care her granddaughter just tried to rob her store? Was it my accent? Don't be silly. I ain't got no accent. This is just how I talk. What was that gal thinking, treating me like I was some kind of innocent little filly? It's humiliating. I'm bad to the bone. She's lucky it wasn't worth the trouble, or there would have been trouble. Don't you doubt me 1 minute. I just didn't feel like it would have been worth it to beat him up or nothing. Wasn't worth it for an apple. Much too much work, not enough profit for this cattle rustler. Dang it, that only makes sense when you're a cow. Great, there goes my evil plan for the day. But I can't leave on that note. It'd just be humiliating. So what can I do now? Can't just go back to the hideout with that story or the girls will never let me live it down. I got a reputation to keep up. Why can't I just finish a crime so I can go back to the hideout and play video games? There's a guard. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get arrested. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna get myself thrown in the dungeon right here, right now. What you gonna do about them apples, huh? That's what I thought. All right, sneaking up behind him, he don't see me. Now, what can I do to get his attention? Something will get me cuffed and hauled off to the Who's Grow faster than you can spin. Arson? Then we'd have to go through the trouble of finding a lighter and getting some fuel. Murder? Oh, well, I ain't in the mood for it. I could if I felt like it. I ain't a sissy. Jaywalking? Of course, it'd be the one time I want Cancelot to be busy. It ain't. Let's see now. There's gotta be something. I can't follow this guy all day. My legs are already tired from all that standing around. Okay, let's see. Lots of houses, lots of rocks. That's all there is around here. Houses and rocks. And not the kind of rock Pinkamina's sisters indeed, neither. At least then I could get arrested for disturbing the peace or breaking a window. Wait a minute. Haha, that's more like it. Finally, a real crime to commit. I'll just sneak around to get ahead of him. I hope he appreciates all the work I'm going through. Getting arrested ain't as easy as it looks. Okay, let's see. Which house looks the fanciest? This one will do. Lots of windows, marble pillars, big yard. Whoever lives here must be loaded. I pick up the rock in my mouth, wait for the guard to get close, little more. Get a good view, big guy. I throw my head forwards and crash right through one of the windows. Better do it till he catches me. The more I break, the more trouble I've caused. There goes another one, and another. That makes 4, 5, 6, 7. Taking the guy a while, ain't he? I turn around and the street is plumb empty. What in Tartarus? Hey, vandal over here. Just broke a window. Hello, Mr. Guard Pony. I'm confessing. No need to stake me out or nothing. Seriously, what the buck just happened? Since when can you break all the windows out in an old mansion and not get arrested? What's the world coming to? What's next? They watch me burn down a store and don't lift a hoof? I mean, really? Wait a second. What's that sign say? Condemned? Of all the... I swear, when is any house in Canterlot condemned? It's not like it's a bad neighborhood or anything. Sure, those vile miscreants attack every week or so, but it isn't that bad. I do declare that I have never... of all the rotten, low-down, dirty things to do to hard-working criminals like myself. What's next? All the stores gonna close down, so there's nothing to rob? It's so hard to be a ne'er-do-well these days. Just to blow off a little steam, I kick a rock at the house with my back legs, but it deflects off and Youch! Ha! In your face, house! Now I look even more bad flank. I got an eye patch. Now, back to business. I actually put a lot of effort into this caper, so definitely gonna get some pony's attention. I even bought paint, several gallons of the stuff, on my granny's credit card. Top that, a whole 15 buckets. Granny Smith will never know where it went. Let's just hope she finally gets off her rich, stuck-up, lazy flank to notice for once in her life. Why do I need gallons of paint? A little vandalism, of course. Gonna paint the entire side of this building with it. How in the world is some pony gonna miss that unless old Sunbutt somehow blinds the entire kingdom? And that ain't gonna happen. She already tried 2 or 3 times. Luna tried one tonight too. Well, that sounded a lot less depressing when it was in my head. Now, what should I make my masterpiece here? Nothing too big, that'd be too much work, and I'd have to go through all the trouble of finding a ladder. How about an apple with one of those red cross things on it? That'd get the message across. No way that's getting interpreted the wrong way. Or should I say, the right way? Why am I out to get my family so much? None of your beeswax. I'm who I am 'cause I like it. You got a problem with that? Wait, come back. You're supposed to pay attention to the bad guy, not walk off in the middle of what they're saying. Geez, if you want to know why so bad, I guess I can tell you. After all, I got time while I do my little project here. You know, looking at our world now, it's hard to tell it, but this country used to be real pretty, back when Princess Celestia was alone and the big 3 goody gods had her under control. And when they ran into trouble, King Tarek and his kingdom were happy to help. Now they're too busy dealing with Tarek's nasty brother, Lord Scorpan, after the princesses let him out of Tartarus. Back then, she caused a lot of trouble, but we still had Pegasi making weather to give us rain and dirt, good stuff for crops to grow. And boy, did they grow. And with that came lots of farmers, which is where my family came in. My Granny Smith is a selfish old coot. Always has been, always will be. To hear how she talks about it, she wanted to live in the lap of luxury, something fierce. And it just so happened her family was pretty well off. So naturally, when her daddy ended up insulting Princess Celestia one evening, and they had to find themselves a nice little house on the edge of the Everfree until Captain Good Guy could give them some protection, Granny Smith was the first pony to complain. She called her pa a big coward who wouldn't stick up for himself. Personally, even a run-to-the-core pony like yours truly knows better than to pick a fight with old Sunbutt. Of course, good fortune happened along, and her daddy discovered a rare breed of apple around there and started breeding it. Was a pretty smart fella. And thanks to Captain Good Guy making his presence known, they were free to start a little farm. Sadly, their old place and a good chunk of their money was now a crater. Now, well, my grandpa was a smart guy who was a bit lacking in the physical department, so he had to hire out. One of his workers was an old stallion named Stinkin' Rich, which was a pretty dang ironic name given he was dirt poor. Old Mr. Rich was a selfless guy. He didn't sign up to work on Sweet Apple Acres because he wanted a paycheck. He wanted to help the new family that was starting over out and perhaps store up enough money for his kids. Met him a couple times before he passed, good old stallion. Over the time, Stinkin' Rich became a friend of my grandpa. But Granny Smith just saw him as some pony who might be a bit convenient for her to use someday. Like I said, Granny is one selfish old bucker. Didn't see any pony as much as a pawn. I think that even applies to me and my sibs. Now, Granny Smith loved the idea of being rich from a little taste she started life with. Which she was getting what with all the apples they were selling, but what she didn't like was the idea of living on the farm, much less running it. However, Stinkin' Rich's grandson, Filthy Rich, grew up on that farm and knew how to run it like clockwork. It was probably one pony that the Apple family trusted completely. So she got it in her head a way to stay rich without having to pull her own weight. She went and sold Daddy's farm to Filthy Rich for a decent amount and left the trouble of keeping the place going to him. Then she went and opened up a store to sell Rich Acres apples and apple products for top dollar all over Equestria, giving Rich a decent cut off the profits. Fleming Flam's daddy was the supreme judge at the time, and he wasn't too keen on dirty dealing, but letting herself sit back and rake in the bits while a few hired helpers did the real work. As soon as she was pretty sure she could get away with it, she packed her bags and moved to Canterlot to live high on the hog. My brother went with her. From what I heard, he's quite the lady stallion, for one night at least, till they get to know what a proud bigot he is. Feel sorry for the Duchess he's married to for his title. Wonder she still has ears. He even tried to make a move on Princess Trixie once. Guess how that turned out. I was born on that farm and spent a few years with the Riches. Real nice folks, selfless and generous. Filthy Rich was practically my dad for a year or two when my parents passed. I was pretty young at the time. I'm surprised Filthy had a sweet little diamond later on in his old age, until Granny Smith decided to stick that big nose of hers where it never belonged. It simply isn't right for a member of the illustrious Apple family to grow up knowing little of the finer things in life. I'm taking little Applejack to Canterlot with me, she said. Did she ever ask what I wanted? Nah. I know exactly why she snapped me up like this. Because having a little orphan foal with you earns a boatload of sympathy points. That's why. She practically let the TV do my raising so long as I wore a big smile when it came to public appearances and acted the part of her darling little angel. And my baby sister Apple Bloom, the photo bugs couldn't get enough of her. Oh, look how good pony I am, taking care of my orphaned grandchildren. And ponies wonder where I learned to lie. I had a very good teacher. As for me, like I said, Granny Smith raised me to be her definition of a proper lady. That is stuffy with my nose straight up in the air when I went to a public event and was spoiled like a rotten little princess at home. She expected all the things I had to do, her full rearing for her, them and the servants. For me to just ask the servants to buy me things, play video games whenever I wanted to, and to politely stay out of her mane. Like I said, she was lazy. Did you expect her to actually have hooves and a roll of raisin foals? Now, I can hear some ponies saying, Applejack, why do you choose a life of crime over being rich, fancy-pantsy Southern belle? Because being rich is bucking boring. Not only that, but I realized something. I wasn't me. I was Granny Smith's idea of what I should be. A smiling little doll that she could dress up for parties, then ignore and leave on a shelf when the partygoers were gone. And my big brother ain't much better. He expected me to be the same, so I didn't embarrass him around his dates. Wanted me to sit around being window dressing so his latest lady would think he's such a good big brother to me. So long story short, I was stuck in a boring life. I didn't care one bit for ponies who didn't care one bit for me, and living as a mask they forced me instead of being me. Being their little wind-up doll that might as well have not existed when they didn't pull me off the shelf. To put it lightly, I was a bit bitter about that. I played along, but sooner or later, I thought I was gonna go stark raving mad from boredom. So I came up with a new hobby, seeing how much rotten stuff it'd take to get my family to finally pay attention to me at all. At first, I started drawing on the walls, but about all that got me was a little Applejack, be a dear and behave yourselves, and the servants having a little extra work to do. And you know what? At first that made me happy. Finally, some pony was actually talking to me. Felt like getting a taste of sweets for the first time. But sooner or later, Granny Smith decided that was too much work and just told the servants to start cleaning it up themselves. Well, at that point, I decided to start one-upping myself to get more attention. I tried breaking every toy they got me. They just bought me more. I tried cussing, but I didn't really know that many cuss words, and the ones I did, I'd learned from them anyways. I've learned a lot more since then. I gained like 10 pounds stealing cookies from the kitchen. All that got me was them worrying about ponies thinking I was getting fat. I did every fucking thing a kid could do to get in trouble, and it never got me any more than a slap on the wrist, so I decided to get serious. I started snatching things from visitors and stuff around the house. Jewelry, the TV remote, even money right out of her wallet. I didn't even want any of it. I just wanted Granny Smith to finally really chew me out. After I had a decent stash, I decided to wait for the fireworks. And wait, and wait, and wait. But it never did come. You know what Granny Smith did? She simply went out and bought replacements, never even caring where the little missing things had gone. She didn't even seem to mind the missing money. Even at my worst, it was as if I didn't exist at all. The moment I was old enough, I got the hay out of Dodge and moved to become a professional ne'er-do-well. I thought if a little theft ain't gonna cut it, maybe a big score will. Especially if that big score was from Granny's own business. I admit I didn't think it'd work so much. Staking out the place, finding the right time, waiting. I'm lucky I made it through the day. But I know someday, when I finally make a big enough mess for Granny Smith's little empire she always loved more than me, then she'd care. So I've been plotting the downfall of the apple business ever since. Team up with the princesses to do that? Even by my standards, that's nuts. They just ain't trustworthy. Luna proved that much. I kinda maybe almost starved to death, just a little bit. Rainbow and the others found me asleep in their clubhouse one night when it was raining. We talked and me and Twilight hit it off. Girl knows how it feels to want attention. I tell you that. And they never did see me as a little wind-up doll either. They see me as me. They invited me to play cards. They actually asked me what we want to do. They're more my family than Granny Smith ever was. She can rot in Tartarus for all I care. Yeah, she can rot in Tartarus for all I care. And from what I hear, little Apple Bloom feels the same way too. She's buddy-buddy with Rarity's little sister and this foal named Scootaloo. And they're more family to her than Granny and Big Mac ever were. I don't know how I feel about her following my footsteps that way. I don't know if... Anyway, there you go. There's the big bad origins of Applejack. Hope you enjoyed it. Now let's take a good look at my handiwork. Nice big red apple with a big line through it. And a little skull and crossbones on it in green. And now that ought to scare some pony. Maybe two. Let's see any pony ignore this. Wait a second. This building is set aside for street art? Come on! Dang it! Now I've got to do it all over again. Where it'll actually count as vandalism. Gosh darn it, I'm out of paint! What the bucking Tartarus? I'm going back to the clubhouse. I need a lot of cider. If Pinkie Pie hasn't thrown out my stash again.